Okay, for the last concept of bonds payable, okay, let's have the compound financial instrument. Okay, so what is a compound financial instrument? So basically, these are financial instrument that has an element of being a liability. Okay, and equity. Okay, so meaning to say, on the perspective of the issuer nung financial instrument na to, yung perception niya dun sa instrument na yun is dalawa. Meron siyang liability component and equity component. Kaya ang tawag sa financial instrument na yun is compound financial instrument. Meaning to say, meron siyang characteristic ng pagiging liability and equity. Okay, ganun lang po siya. Okay po. So now, how do we account a compound financial instrument? Okay po. So before natin tignan, no, yung accounting procedures is ano ba yung mga common example po ng mga compound financial instrument? Okay. So yung mga common example, actually ito din yung i-discuss natin later on. Okay. So we have yung mga bonds with share warrants. Okay. Bonds with share warrants, and yung nabanggit natin na example, no, so sa earlier discussion po natin, yung mga tinatawag natin convertible bonds. Okay, gaya na nabanggit po natin, these bonds, okay, or these bonds payable, meron po silang mga equity component. Okay, because it's either they can be transformed into an equity or they can be exercised so that when it is exercised, an equity can be issued. Okay, ganun po siya. Okay? O, sige. So, ano yung accounting procedure po natin pagdating sa compound financial instrument? Okay? So, dito, pagdating po sa compound financial instrument, actually, whether it is bonds payable, may encounter pa tayong mga other type of compound financial instrument. Pagdating sa FAR 3, meron pa yung tinatawag nating employee benefits, no? Particularly yung mga share-based compensation, yung mga yan, okay po. So, yung mga may encounter pa tayo. Pero ang focus lang natin sa FAR 2, yung compound financial instrument pertains to a bonds payable, which are the bonds payable with share warrant and bonds convertible bonds. Okay, so ano po ba yung accounting procedure po natin? Okay, ang tamang term for the accounting procedure is yung tinatawag po natin na residual approach. Okay, residual approach. So ano po yung yung concept ng residual approach? Nanggaling po ito doon sa accounting equation natin, no? If titignan po natin yung asset is equal to liabilities plus equity. Pagdating sa liquidation kasi, okay? Ibig sabihin, i-liquidate na lahat ng assets, tapos saan mapupunta yung mga assets. Itong equation po natin is can be transformed into asset minus liabilities is equal to equity. So, meaning to say, lahat po nung may priority, first priority, pagdating po doon sa fair values or doon sa mga values ng assets, ang unang magiginabang muna ay yung mga utang. And then, kapag na-exhaust na lahat ng mga utang, tsaka pa lang i-absorb sa equity. Yun po yung ibig sabihin po ng residual approach. Meaning to say, okay, lahat po ng equity component, okay, ang napupunta sa kanila ay yung mga residual amount. Okay, residual amount or excess. Okay, so ganun po kasi yung characteristic po ng ating accounting formula. Okay, pagdating sa liquidation, i-exhaust muna lahat ng mga liabilities at kung may matira man doon sa mga assets, tsaka lang po mabibigyan yung mga owners. Okay po, so ganun po yung concept po ng residual approach. So how do we apply the residual approach pagdating sa compound financial instrument? Kung maalala po natin, di ba, bonds are recognized, okay, based on its fair value. And itong fair value nito, di ba, ito yung issue price. Okay po, so kinukuha natin yung issue price ng bonds payable. Actually, itong issue price na yan na po yung parang market value, okay? Or ito na yung kabuuang proceeds or fair value ng buong compound financial instrument. Okay? financial instrument. Okay, so yung issue price, ulitin po, pag nag-issue tayo ng bonds under compound financial instrument, ina-account na natin yan sa lahat, dun sa kabuuan ng compound financial instrument. Okay? Pero dahil sinasabi natin, residual approach. Okay? So meaning to say, pag sinabing residual approach, kailangan pinaghihiwalay natin yung compound financial instrument into two component. Kailangan maipakita natin doon sa ating libro yung liability component at saka yung equity component, at yung sa equity component ang matitira sa kanya is the residual amount. Okay, so ganyan po siya. Okay, so dito yung issue price po natin, ang gagawin po natin para mapaghiwalay, okay, yung liability component and the equity component, okay, using residual approach is ganito po siya gagawin. Okay, yung first step na gagawin po natin is we have to get the fair value of the liability component. Okay po. Ibig sabihin, fair value ng bonds. Okay? Nang walang kasamang equity component. Okay? So, like for example, nag-issue tayo ng bonds with share warrant. Okay po? Kapag halimbawa, nag-issue tayo ng bonds na walang kasamang share warrants, magkano yung fair value niya? Yun po yung tinutukoy natin dito. Magkano yung fair value of the liability? Or, ang ibang term dyan is ginagamit nila X warrant. Yan, X warrant bond, or yung mga X na, or tama, X warrant bonds. Yun yung mas common term na ginagamit po, no? Or yung mga bonds without the conversion component. Parang ganon. Okay po. So, yun yung mababasa po natin. So, sinasabi lang doon, meron pong financial instrument na wala talagang equity component, and meron yung mga bonds payable na may equity component. And dito, ang first na gagawin natin, kailangan nating ma-determine yung fair value nung liability component na walang kasamang equity component. Pag nakuha na natin yung fair value, okay, yun po yung ililess natin. Saan? Sa issue price. Okay? Dahil yung matitira doon sa issue price, yung buong value ng compound financial instrument, okay, yun na po yung mapupunta sa equity. Okay, residual. So, just to give you a very basic example, kunyari, nag-issue tayo na bonds with share warrant. Okay? Yung bonds total issue price natin, isabihin natin. Okay, nag-issue tayo ng 1,000 bonds. Okay po. Ang issue price natin or yung fair value ng bonds, sabihin natin is 100. Issued at 97. Sabihin natin ganyan. Okay po. Pero ito, may kasama siyang share warrant. If nag-issue sana tayo ng bonds without the share warrants, or ang tawag sa kanya, bonds X warrant, ang fair value sana nung atin pong bonds ay, sabihin natin, 95. Okay po, or bawasan natin, 92. So, meaning to say, yung difference ng 97 sa 92, which is 5. Tama? Okay, so yung 5 na yan, ito yung mapupunta sa equity, and ito naman po yung mapupunta sa liability. And we recognize them both sa libro. Paano yung journal entry po natin? Okay po. So kapag bonds with share warrants, meron po tayong ibang journal entry. And kapag convertible bonds naman, ay meron din po siyang ibang journal. Para mas maintindihan po natin, siguro mas try natin sagutan yung first problem natin, bonds with share warrants. Okay, so this is the first problem. Okay, ito yung may with share warrant. Okay, bonds payable with share warrant. Okay, meron tayong case 1 and case number 2. Okay, sige, so may mga requirement po tayo dito. What amount should the warrants be initially recorded? Pag sinabi dyan, and ang tinatanong dyan basically is the equity component. Okay, all the warrants were exercised. What will be the journal entry? And if 60% were exercised, what amount share premium should be recorded? Okay, share premium. An entity issued 5,000 10-year bonds, face amount of 1,000 per bond, okay, at 105. So this is our issue price. Okay po. Each bond is accompanied by one warrant that permits the bondholder to purchase 20 equity shares. So ibig sabihin, one warrant, okay, one warrant, 20 shares yung magbibili natin. Okay? Par at 55 per share. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung exercise price naman ang tinatawag. Okay? Exercise price. Okay? And the bonds have 10% interest payable semi-annually. Okay? So, convert na natin to into semi-annual interest payment. That's 5%. Okay. Case 1. Sabi niya dito, the market value of the bond X warrant. Nakita mo yun? The bond X warrant at the time of issuance 98. So, ibig sabihin, kung sakaling nag-issue tayo ng bond na wala kasamang warrant, 98 yung issue price niya. Okay po? Pero nung nag-issue tayo ng 105, may kasama yun na warrant. Nakuha? So, using the residual approach, no? Sabi natin, the compound financial instrument fair value, okay, is meron tayong measurement for liability component and meron din po tayong measurement for equity component. Okay, sige. Case 1. Ganito. First step, diba, ano gagawin mo? Kukunin muna natin yung fair value ng liability na walang kasamang equity. Okay? Sige, so magkano ba yung fair value nung walang kasama? Pero syempre, before the first step, kailangan mo natin kunin yung issue price kasi yun yung pinakauna. Okay po. Issue price. Sige, so the issue price is 5,000 bonds times yung face amount na 1,000 times 105%. So therefore, yung total issue price po natin is 5,000 times 1,000 then times 1.05. Okay, so we have 5,250,000. Okay? And then, ang kukunin natin is yung fair value ng bond X warrant. Okay? So, magkano yung fair value ng bond X warrant? So, para makuha natin yon 5,000 times 1,000 times 98%. Okay? So, 5,000 times 1,000 times 0.98. So, ibig sabihin, 4.9 million yung bonds payable na walang kasamang equity component. So, therefore, ilan yung matitira? So, minus natin yung 5,250. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, 350 yung residual. Okay? So, in summary, dito sa computation po natin, ito po yung sa liability component and ito naman po yung mapupunta sa equity component. Okay? So, ganyan po siya. Okay? So, in short, ito yung fair value ng liability bonds natin and ito naman yung fair value or yung fair value ng equity component. So, paano po yung journal entry po natin? Okay? So, ang journal entry po natin is similar to the previous problems, no? Meron pa din tayong mag-recognize na discount or premium. Depende po yun if merong difference yung fair value ng bonds payable sa face amount. And meron lang po tayong madadagdag na equity account. Okay, so dito, pwede po natin gamitin yung share warrant as an equity account. Okay? Or yun yung account for the equity component. Share warrants or share warrant outstanding. Pwede din po yun. Okay? So ganito po yung entry po natin. Debit po tayo ng cash kasi naka-receive tayo ng payment. Magkano? Siyempre yung total issue price. 5,250,000. And then, credit tayo ng bonds payable. O magkano kaya sa bonds payable? O magkano ba yung face amount ng bonds? Hindi ba 5 million? Ayun, 5,000 times 1,000. Okay? So 5 million pa din yan. Yan yung ating face amount. And then, meron tayong additional entry, share warrant outstanding. Okay, so magkano yung share warrant outstanding? Yung sa equity component, which is 350,000. Sir, hindi na balance yan. Yes, kasi meron po tayong tinatawag na discount. Sir, paano mo nakuha yung discount? O pansinin mo, sabi natin, ang fair value ng liability component is 4.9. So in short, kung face amount nung bond is 5 million, tapos mayroong fair value lang yung liability component natin na 4.9, di ibig sabihin may 100,000 na discount. Okay? So meron tayong discount on bonds, 100,000. 5,000. So, with this entry, kung titignan mo, balance na po yung journal entry po natin. Okay, so yung ganyan po yung ating pong entry, no? So, we debit cash equal to the proceeds, the total proceeds. Okay, we debit discount pag may difference, yung fair value of the liability component over doon sa face amount. And we credit bonds payable, okay, equal to the face amount. And the share warrant outstanding equal to the residual amount, okay, of the fair value of the compound financial instrument to the liability, fair value of the liability component. Okay, so yan po yung ating journal entry. Okay, so ang tanong dito, what amount should warrants be initially recorded? Ang sagot natin, 350,000. Okay. Next, all warrants, okay, were exercised. What will be the journal entry? So, ang journal entry po natin, kapag in-exercise na lahat ng mga warrants, is simply, we have to follow yung contract. Okay, sabi niya dito, each bond is accompanied by one warrant. O ilang bang bonds ba lahat po yan? Di ba sabi niya 5,000? So, kung 5,000 yung bond certificate, ibig sabihin 5,000 din yung warrant na meron, di ba, na in-issue. And each warrant, pwede po siya makabili ng 20 equity shares. Ayan po. O, so, in short, kapag minultiply natin to sa 20, so, ilang total equity shares yung kayang bilhin ng 5,000 na warrant? So, 5,000 times 20. So, ibig sabihin, meron tayong total 100,000 equity shares na pwedeng bilhin out of 5,000 warrants. Okay? And then, magkano yung exercise price? 55. O, so, ibig sabihin, ang kailangan i-surrender ni bondholder pag in-exercise niya kasama yung warrant is yung 55 pesos, okay, times 100,000. So, magkano yun? So, times 55. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan pa niyang magbigay ng 5.5 million pesos. Okay, so how do we compute for the share premium? Okay, so ganito po siya. Okay. So, computation for the share premium. So, ang formula po natin to compute for the share premium is, first, we get the cash proceeds. Okay, ito po yung exercise price. Okay, from the exercise of the share warrants. And we add yung share warrant outstanding. Okay. And we deduct here yung par value ng share. Okay, yung par value share. So, makukuha po natin dito is the share premium. Okay, so, let's follow this formula. So, magkano yung cash proceeds? Ito yung nabanggit po natin. Kailangan mag-surrender ng 5.5 million. So, lagyan natin dito, 5.5 million. Meron bang share warrant outstanding? Yes, nag-recognize tayo kanina. Di ba? Ito yun, no? Share warrant outstanding, 350,000. Magkano naman yung par value share? Kung babalikan po natin, sabi dito, okay, yung 5,000 share warrants, kayang bumili ng 100,000 shares. And ilan yung par value ng shares? Ito yun, no? 50 pesos. So, kung i-multiply natin to sa 50, ilan po yung par value? So, 100,000 times 50. 5 million. Okay? So, therefore, lagyan natin dito, 5 million. So, magkano kaya yung ating buong share premium? So, 5.5, okay, plus 350 minus 5 million. So, in short, meron tayong 850,000 na share premium. Okay? So, paano po natin siya i-journal entry? Okay, ang journal entry po natin, dahil in-exercise na yung share warrants, debit tayo ng cash. Kasi makaka-receive po tayo ng cash, tama? Magkano? 5.5 M. Okay? Tapos, debit na din natin yung share warrant outstanding. Bakit? Kasi in-exercise na, so dapat mawala na sa libro natin yung share warrants. What? Magkano? 350,000. Lahat kasi in-exercise. And then, credit natin yung ordinary share capital. Magkano? Based sa par value. 5 million. And then, balancing figure, charge natin sa share premium. So, magkano yun? 850,000. O, ito po yung ating journal entry kapag in-exercise lahat yung share warrant. Kaya lang, sabi niya dito, number 3, if 60% of the warrants were exercised, what amount share premium should be recorded? Paano kaya kapag hindi lahat in-exercise? Ganito pala, no? There are some cases na kapag hindi in-exercise po yung share warrant, ang nangyayari sa kanya na i-expire. Okay? At kapag na-expire na sa share warrant, ang nangyayari lang po dun sa share warrant outstanding is nire-recycle lang siya. Kasi yung equity component po na yun is para lang po siyang share premium din. Okay? So, in short, kapag na-expire po yun, nire-recycle lang natin siya pabalik ng share premium. Ganun po. Okay? Sige. So, let's compute. What if 60%? Okay, 60% lang yung in-exercise. So, ganito po yun. Meron tayong 5,000 na shares, tama? Ay, 5,000 share warrant outstanding. Tapos, multiply natin to ng 60%. So, ilan lang yung in-exercise? So, 5,000 times 0.6. So, ibig sabihin, 3,000 lang, no? So, 3,000. Then, multiply natin to ng 20. Kasi 20 kada 1 share warrant yung pwedeng ibilin na equity. O, so, ilan lang yung pwede natin bilhin? So, times 20. So, ibig sabihin, 60,000 shares. Okay, yung kayang bilhin nung 3,000 na share warrant. Okay, tapos multiply natin to sa exercise price na 55. So, meaning to say, yung total proceeds na marireceive po natin is, magkano? 3.3 million. Okay? And then, ima-minus natin dito yung add natin dito. Add plus yung share warrant outstanding. Oh, sir, kaya lang hindi po lahat in-exercise. Ilan yung i-charge natin sa share warrant outstanding? E di kung ilan lang po yung nag-exercise. So, paano natin mako-compute yung portion na na-exercise? Pro rata. Okay, so ang gagawin po, di ba meron tayong total na 350. So, alam natin yung 350,000 na yan, okay, para sa lahat ng 5,000 shares. Hindi lahat in-exercise, 60% lang, so 3,000 lang yung in-exercise. Tama? O ganyan po siya. 350 times dun sa in-exercise, top over dun sa total. So, magkano lang yung share warrant nung in-exercise na share warrant? 350 times 3,000 divided by 5,000. So, ibig sabihin, 210,000 lang yung share warrant na outstanding na na-exercise. Okay? So, 210,000. And then, ima-minus natin dito yung par value ng share. Okay? So, paano makuha yung par value? 60,000 shares. Tama? Yung kayang bilhin. Yun. Ba't ayaw? 60,000 times 50 yung par value. So, ibig sabihin, 3 million. Okay? So, sagot natin dito, 3.3 plus 210 minus 3 million. So, ibig sabihin, meron tayong 510,000 na share premium. Okay? Pero, wag mong kalimutan, hindi pa yun yung sagot. Okay, explain ko sa journal entry po natin. Okay po. Medyo trick yung question. Okay? Dito kasi hindi niya in-explain if yung matitira ay expired. Okay? Kaya nabanggit ko kanina, di ba? Kapag yung mga share warrant outstanding na expire na po sila, hindi sila in-exercise. Yung share warrant outstanding ng hindi in-exercise, nire-recycle lang po natin pabalik ng share premium. Dito sa problem, hindi niya in-explain if expired yung 40%. Okay? O, so, yan muna. So, kung wala po siyang binanggit, ang assumption natin, ayan. So, 510. Eh, what if yung 40% na expire? Paano yung journal entry natin? Ganito po. Debit tayo ng cash. Magkano? Yung proceeds. Ito yun. 3.3 million. Okay? Tapos, debit natin yung share warrant outstanding. Magkano yung share warrant outstanding na wala? 210,000. Tapos, credit natin yung ordinary share capital. Magkano? Par value, 3 million. And, credit natin yung share premium, 510,000. Okay? O, yan po yung sa 60%. Eh, what if next par yung 40%? Ang mangyayari po, re-recycle natin sa share premium. So, magkano muna yung sa 40%? Kunin mo na lang yung difference ito. 350 minus 210. So, that is 140. Tama ba? Okay. 350 minus 210. So, that is 140. Okay. So, oh, shucks. Okay, so 140. So, ang mangyayari po, i-recycle lang po natin sa share premium. Ganito po yung itsura niya. Debit tayo ng share warrant outstanding, credit tayo ng share premium. Magkano? 140,000. Kung babalikan po natin yung tanong, no? Sabi niya, how much is the share premium should be recorded? Assuming, sabi niya, dinagdag natin sa problem. The remaining share warrants that are not exercised are considered expired. Okay? So, sabi niya doon. Okay po. Ang sasagot mo, 510 plus 140. So, therefore, yung total share premium po natin, 510 plus 140. So, that is 650,000. Okay? So, ganun po siya. Assuming expired yung 40%. Okay? So, ganyan lang po kadali kapag compound financial instrument. Ang gagamitin mo lang, residual approach. Meaning to say, paghihiwalayin mo yung liability component, okay, yung measurement ng liability component is equal yan sa fair value nung liability component na walang kasamang equity. And yung equity naman, ang mapupunta sa kanya is yung tira-tira. Okay, the residual amount. Okay, so ganyan po siya kapag share warrant. And sa bonds payable naman, kung ano yung normal na ginagawa po natin, hindi na natin pinakita ito, yung sa discount, paano yung journal, subsequent measurement po natin sa discount, and sa bonds payable. Kung ano yung normal na ginagawa natin from the previous problems, no? O ganun lang din po, nag-regulate na ng interest payment, okay? As interest expense, okay po? And then meron din tayong amortization for the discount or premium. Ganun lang po siya. Mayroon pa tayong case number 2. Sa case number 2 naman, sabi niya dito, the prevailing market rate of interest of similar bonds without warrant is 12%. So dito, hindi niya binanggit yung market value, but rather yung yield or yung effective interest rate. Pinahirapan ka lang ng konti kasi ang gusto niya lang gawin, mag-present value factor ka. O, ganun lang. Okay po. So in short, pag ganyan yung scenario po natin under case number 2, ganito naman yung gagawin mo. O, same na same pa din. Kunin mo lang yung issue price. Magkano yung issue price? Na-compute na natin kanina. Okay, so ito yun. 5,250. Okay, so 5,250. Tapos, compute lang natin yung fair value ng liability component. Para makuha yon, since hindi given yung market value, kukunin natin yung present value of the principal and present value of the interest. Magkano ulit yung principal? 5 million, tama? Okay, that's 5,000 times 1,000. So, 5 million. And yung ating interest naman, 5%. So, ang gagawin mo, 5,000, 5 million times 0.05. So, that is 250,000. Okay? So, yun po yan. Principal natin is 5 million and yung ating interest is 250,000. So, ito, i-multiply natin sa PV of 1. Okay? Ng ilang percent yun? 12% sabi niya, di ba? Semi-annual, 6%. For ilang years? Okay, 10 years, no? So, 10 times 2, that's 20. Ito naman, PV of, okay, binanggit ba niya kung anong year? Ay, kung anong month? Walang binanggit, so, ibig sabihin, ordinary annuity. Silent na problem. So, ordinary annuity, 6% for 20. Sige, so, compute natin. Minsanan na lang sa calculator, no? O, ganito po siya. Papakita ko na lang sa computation, hindi ko nasusulat yung mga PV, present value. So, ang first na gagawin mo, kunin mo muna yung PV of ordinary annuity. Kasi, sa calculator natin, nag-grand total tayo. Mamaya, hindi na kasi matatanggal yung grand total. O, ganito po siya. 1.06. Okay. Divide. O, so, 20 yon. So, ito kasi nag-start siya sa 1. So, pindot muna ako ng isa. O, 1. Then, tsaka ako magbibilang ng 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Then, grand total. Tapos, minus 1 ako. Okay? So, yan po yung ating PV of ordinary annuity. 11.4699. To double check, ulitin lang natin. 1.06 divide 1. Okay, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Grand total, then minus 1. So, 11.46 naman. So, then, ang gagawin natin, i-multiply natin yan sa interest, 250, M plus. Yan na yung present value ng interest. Okay po, ulitin ko, ito na po yung present value ng interest. At kung papansinin mo yung M natin dito, naka-store na siya doon. Okay po. And ang next natin na kukunin is yung PV of 1. So, to get the PV of 1 is 1.06 divide ulit. Okay, so 20 ulit. Okay. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. O yan na yung PV of 1. And then, multiply natin to sa 5 million. Tapos, M plus na. Huwag mo na pindutin yung equal sign. M plus ka na. M plus, o yan na po yung ating PV of the principal. And then, MR, ito total na niya lahat. Okay, so ibig sabihin, 4426503.9385. Okay, yung atin pong fair value ng liability component. Okay? Okay, so yan na yung ating fair value. So, 442,650,3.9385. Okay, yung equity component naman, yung residual amount, para makuha yon, minus natin to sa proceeds. 5,250. So, magkano yun? 823,496.0615. Okay, so yan po yung atin po equity component. Okay, so yung journal entry natin, debit tayo ng cash. Okay. 5,250,000. Credit tayo ng bonds payable. Equivalent pa din po yun sa atin pong face amount, 5 million. Tapos, debit tayo ng share warrant outstanding. Equivalent din sa equity component. 823,496.0615. And then, discount. Meron tayong discount. Bakit? Kasi ito, kung titignan mo, mas maliit yung fair value ng liability compared sa face amount. Yung face amount natin is 5 million. So, kunin natin yung difference. MR, recall lang natin yon. Then, minus natin yung 5 million. So, that is 573,496.0615. Okay, so 573,496.0615. Yan na yung atin pong journal entry. So, ganyan po siya kapag hindi given yung fair value ng bonds payable. Okay? So, yan. Ano yung requirement sa atin? Warrants be initially recorded. Ayun, yun yung sugot natin. Okay, so ganun lang po siya. Now, let's have convertible bonds. Ano pinagkaiba ba ng share warrants sa convertible bonds? So, ang pinagkaiba po nila is yung how do they acquire equity shares or how do we issue yung equity component. Okay po. Sa share warrants, ang nangyayari po kasi, okay, kailangan mo nang i-exercise or may kasama siyang exercise price. Meaning to say, meron muna tayong marireceive na cash. Pero sa convertible bonds, ang nangyayari po, okay, yung bonds payable mismo, yung kino-convert natin into equity. Meaning to say, hindi na natin kailangan bayaran si bondholder doon sa bonds payable niya, but rather, i-issue na lang natin siya ng equity shares. So, yung cash dito na nare-receive natin, yun na po yung bonds payable. Okay? Pagdating po kay convertible bonds. Okay? So, in short, kapag in-exercise yung convertible bonds, ang nangyayari po, tinatanggal natin yung liability, tapos, kino-convert na natin siya into ordinary shares. Parang ganun po siya. Okay? Para mas maintindihan natin, sagutan natin yung problem. Okay? So, ganito po siya. Okay, requirement natin, conversion option, be initially recorded. Okay, so, And if all the conversion option, ito, yung equity yung component yung tinatanong dito, equity component. On January 1, an entity issued 5,000, 5-year bond, face amount of 1,000 each year at 110. Ito yung issue price. Okay, January 1 yung date natin. The bonds contain a conversion privilege that provides an exchange for 1,000 bond for 20 ordinary shares. So, take note of this, Ibig sabihin, kada 1,000 bond, pwedeng mag-convert ng 20 equity ordinary shares. Okay, par value of 50. The bonds have a 10% interest payable semi-annually every June 30 and December 31. It is reliably determined that the bonds would sell only at 96.7 without the conversion privilege. So, yun. Nahanap na natin yung fair value ng liability. Okay, yung approach po natin pagdating sa initial measurement, same na same pa din. Residual approach. Sige, so kunin muna natin yung liability component and equity component. First, issue price. Magkano yung issue price? So, 5,000 yung shares. Okay? And yung face amount natin is 1,000. Multiply natin to sa issue price, 110. So, magkano po yun? 5,000 times 1,000 times 100. Okay, 1.1. So, that is 5.5 million. Next, kunin natin yung fair value ng liability. So, given naman na yung fair value, 5,000 times 1,000 times 96.7%. So, magkano yun? 5 million times 0.967. So, that is 4,835,000. Then, kunin natin yung difference. So, minus 5 million. So, we have 665,000. So, yan na po yung tinatawag po natin na bond conversion privilege. Okay? Okay, so bond conversion privilege. And this is actually an equity account. Okay? So, ano yung entry po natin? So, debit po tayo ng cash kasi naka-receive tayo ng payment. Okay, magkano? 5.5 million. Then, credit tayo ng bonds payable equal sa face amount, 5 million. Then, credit natin yung bonds conversion privilege. Okay, magkano? 665,000. And, syempre, meron ba tayong discount or premium? Para malaman mo yun, ito yung gagamitin natin. Yung 4,835, okay, so 5 million minus 4,835. So, we have discount. Magkano yung discount natin? 5 million minus 4,835. So, we have 165,000 na discount. Okay, so discount on bonds, 165,000. Okay, so next. So, all the conversion option were exercised on February 1, 2024. What will be the journal entry? So, ito yung pinaka-unique sa kanya. Sa problem kasi natin ng share warrants, kung titignan po natin, no? Separate po si share warrant, okay, at separate si bonds payable. So, meaning to say, pag in-exercise yung share warrant lang yung naapektuhan, not the bonds payable. Dito, sa convertible bonds, si bonds payable naapektuhan siya. Okay? Kasi siya mismo yung kino-convert natin into equity. Nakuha? So, paano po ba natin kino-compute yung bonds payable? Ganito po siya. Okay? So, yung share premium. Para ma-compute si share premium, kailangan natin tanggalin yung bonds payable retired. Okay? Retired ang tawag kasi nga po, in-exercise na siya. Okay? So, in short, yung bonds payable na yun, matatanggal na dapat siya sa libro natin. Kaya mare-retire na po siya. And tatanggalin din natin yung discount. Kapag discount yan, minus. Okay? Kapag premium naman, add. Okay? Yung mga ending balances nila. Ending balances as of the date of exercise. Kung kailan po in-exercise. So, case natin, February 1. Ilan yung balanse ng discount or premium. Okay? So, ganun po siya. And then, tsaka po natin i-minus dito yung add pa natin. Okay, sorry. Kalimutan natin i-add. Add natin dito yung bond conversion privilege. Okay? Yung portion din na exercise. Okay? And then, tsaka po natin i-minus yung par value ng ordinary share. Okay? So, ito po yung ating share premium. Okay? So, dito, in-exercise daw lahat on February 1, 2021. Paano ba natin makukompute to or paano natin mabubuo? Well, first, kailangan mo muna makuha yung bonds payable retired. Para makuha mo yan, kailangan nating makuha yung carrying amount ng bonds. Kailan? On February 1, 2024. Madali lang makuha yan. Paano? Shortcut na lang. Okay po. So, alam natin, yung fair value ng bonds, nakuha na natin to 4835. Gagamitin natin is effective interest method. Silent ang problem. Okay po. So, yung 4835, okay, 4,835,000. So, ang gagawin natin is, magkano kasi yung interest payment? Compute mo natin yung interest payment. Nagbigay ba siya ng interest rate? Yes, 10%. And yung effective interest rate is 11%. So, ibig sabihin, kung semi-annual yung payment, semi-annual ba? Semi-annually, ayun, every June 30. So, convert natin to semi-annual. Ito, 5%. Okay, so yung interest payment natin, 5 million times 0.05, so that's 250. Okay? Sige, ganito po siya. 4835, bilangin natin kung ilang periods. Kung January 1, 2022 yun, okay, ang first payment natin, June 30, tama? 2022, December 31, 2022, so pangalawa na yun, okay? June 30 ulit, 2023, December 31, 2023, and then, dahil 2024 yun, February, hindi siya sakto, so hanggang dun lang muna tayo, December 31, 2023, okay po? So, 4 times, or 4 period, yung ating kukumpitin muna. Okay, so ganito po siya. 4835 ordinary annuity, so muna yung times. Times 1.06. Saan galing yung 6? Ito po yun. Effective interest rate. Minus 250. Okay. Times isang period cycle na yun, ha. Yan na yung carrying amount natin on June 30. Times 1.06 minus 250. Okay? O, ito na yung carrying amount natin on December 31, 2022. Okay? O, times 1.06 minus 250. Okay? O, ito na yung carrying amount natin on June 30, 2023. Okay? O, isa pa. Times 1.06 minus 250. So, ito na yung ating carrying amount on December 31, 2023. Okay? Okay, so ito na yung carrying amount natin for on December 31, 2023. Okay, so ignore lang muna natin yung mga principles, ha? Kasi kung titignan natin, masyado na siyang mataas compared doon sa face amount. Okay, sumobra na siya. Okay, feeling ko kasi yung effective interest rate dito is hindi talaga yun yung effective interest rate. Okay, so feeling ko nang hula na lang ng effective interest rate. Okay? Sige, anyways. So, ito na lang muna yung gamitin natin na carrying amount. On, carrying amount po yan, okay, December pa lang. December 31, 2024. And kailangan natin carrying amount on February 1, 2024. Okay, 2023 pala, sorry. So, para makuha natin yon, ang gagawin po natin, okay, so yung 50104 22.1016 na yan. Store mo na sa calculator, M plus natin. Kukunin natin yung interest expense. Okay? At ima-minus natin yung interest accrued. Okay? So, ilang months ba yung nag-accrue? 1 month. January. Okay po? And kukunin natin yung amortization ng discount. Okay? Para makuha po natin yon, ganito po siya. Okay? So, para makuha natin yung fair value or carrying amount ng bonds on February 1, 2024, ang kailangan po natin gawin is kunin natin yung interest expense, okay, or yung accrued interest payment ng January, tapos ima-minus natin to doon sa amortization, okay, amortization ng discount for January. O para makuha natin yung amortization ng discount, o basically, or interest expense rather, sorry, okay, kasi amortization yung kinukuha natin. So, para makuha natin yung amortization, kunin din natin yung interest expense. Para makuha natin yung interest expense, itong carrying amount na nakuha natin dito, i-multiply natin yan sa 6%, okay? Pero, times 1 over 6, okay? Kasi 1 month lang yung kukunin natin. So, yung interest expense natin, na 5,104.22,1016, okay? Yan, ang nangyayari po sa kanya, dinadagdagan niya yung carrying amount ng bonds natin. Kaya i-M plus natin yan. Okay po. And then, yung interest payment naman, binabawasan yung carrying amount. So, para makuha natin yung interest payment naman, yung 5 million kanina, or yung 250 na semi-annual interest payment, times 1 over 6. Okay? Nakuha? 1 over 6 kasi nga 1 month lang yung kinukuha natin. M minus naman to niyan. Okay? Kasi binabawasan nyo yung carrying amount. M minus. So, MR natin, makukuha na natin yung carrying amount ng atin pong bonds on February 1. So, 501,859.65. So, ito na yung ating gagamitin na carrying amount. Okay po. Then, ayan. So, ang mangyayari, actually, yung carrying amount po na yan, ito na yung combination yan. Okay po. So, ganyan po siya. Dalawa na yun. Okay, yung 501,859.65. Okay. Kung ayaw mo, pwede mo namang kunin yung retired based on face amount. Tapos, kunin mo yung discount, yung natitira. Okay? Kaso, mahaba po yun. Kaya kung ako sa'yo, para dalawa na yung kinukuha mo, kunin mo na lang yung carrying amount. And bond conversion privilege, ilan ba yung nagamit? Lahat, tama. So, dahil lahat po ay na-exercise. So, magkano yun? 665. Okay, ito po yun. Okay, then, yung atin pong par value. O, magkano yung par value? O, para makompute po natin kung magkano yung par value shares, okay, compute muna natin yung total number of shares na pwedeng makuha. So, meron tayong 5 million na peso bonds. Sabi niya dito, kada 1,000 bonds, so divide natin ng 1,000 yan. So, ibig sabihin, meron tayong 5,000 total bonds. Tama? Okay, ulitin ko lang. Okay po. So, we have 5 million. Divide natin ng 1,000. So, meron tayong 5,000 bonds. Tapos, i-multiply natin yan sa 20. Kasi 1 is to 20. So, ibig sabihin, pwedeng bumili ng 100,000 equity shares. Okay? Tapos, i-multiply natin sa par value na 50. So, times 50. That is 5 million. Okay? So, minus natin dito, 5M. So, therefore, yung share premium natin upon exercise, okay, so, plus 665 plus 501,859, okay, 0.65. So, meron tayong share premium na 683,859.65. Okay? O, pakita ko po yung journal entry upon exercise para maintindihan po natin. So, ang ganito po, yung bonds payable retired, o debit tayo ng bonds payable. Magkano? Dahil lahat in-exercise, edi yung buong face amount, 5 million. Ito yun, tama. Ni-retire lahat or in-exercise lahat yung conversion privilege. And debit din natin yung bond conversion privilege. In-exercise lahat, so mawawala na yung 665,000. Tama? Tapos, discount. Okay? So, sa tingin mo, ilan kaya yung i-credit natin sa discount? Ito ba? Syempre, hindi. Kasi, February 1 na ngayon. So, ibig sabihin, mayroong part dyan or portion dyan na na-amortize na. Kaya lang, sa case kasi natin, medyo error tong problem. No? Nasabi ko siyang error kasi kung titignan mo, dapat ang maximum limit is 5 million. Kaya lang sumobra siya eh. Okay po. So, error tong problem na to. Okay po. Discount. Okay. Kaso wala po. Hindi po natin malalaman. Then, credit tayo ng ordinary share capital. Magkano? 5 million. Okay. And then, credit tayo ng share premium. So, share premium naman, ito po. 683,859.65. Okay. So, ayan po siya. Yung discount, itong discount talaga yung error po dito. Kasi yung effective interest rate, most probably hindi po talaga yan yung actual, okay? Na effective interest rate dapat. Anyways, so okay, so ganyan po siya. Ito po yung upon exercise. Okay. Magbigay na lang po ako ng additional illustrative example no, for convertible bonds. Next. Okay, last item. Sabi niya dito, if 60% of warrants were exercised, what amount of share premium should be recorded? So, pag ganun, same formula pa din. Pero, ang mangyayari, 60% lang ng bonds payable na retire, 60% lang ng discount na retire, and 60% lang ng bond conversion privilege na retire. And as well as yung par value and the share premium. Okay? So, ganun po siya. Okay, so to do that, dahil nakuha na natin yung carrying amount, okay, yung 501,8859.65. So, i-multiply lang natin to ng 60%. 501,859.65 times 0.6. Okay, so meaning 3,011,315.79. Okay, yun po yung atin pong converted or retired portion ng bonds. Okay, carrying amount na kagad. And then, kunin natin yung formula natin, bonds conversion privilege. Okay, bonds conversion privilege. So, 665 yun, tama? 665,000 times 60%. Okay, so ito, M plus na natin. 665 times 0.6 M plus. So, 339 or 399,000. Okay? And then, syempre, huwag mo kalimutan yung par value. So, par value, para makuha natin kung ilan yung shares, di ba meron tayong 5,000 shares or 5,000 bonds. Okay po. So, sabi doon is 5,000, pwedeng bumili ng 20. Pero 60% lang yung bumili. And then, times 20. And then, huwag mo kalimutan, times 50. Yan. Kasi yun yung par value. Okay? So, para makuha natin yon 5,000 times 0.6 times 20 times 50. Okay? So, 3 million. Okay? So, minus naman to para makuha yung share premium. So, M minus natin yan. So, makukuha natin yung 410,315.79 na share premium. Okay, so ganyan po yung atin pong computation to get the share premium. Double check lang natin yung computation. 301, 1315, okay, 0.79 plus 399 minus 3 million. Okay? So, yan po. Okay? Yan yung ating share premium. Okay? So, that's it. So, ganyan po siya kapag convertible bonds and share warrants.